Now to a special segment of the show where we sit down with a young Australian Olympian who has built an impressive following on YouTube.
We're going to teach one of Australia's most famous creators, Ginny, how to dive.
Hello.
Put your right hand up here, put your other hand in front of you, and grab the top of your fingers. Now put that on your ears. That's an Olympic dive position. Do it off here first. Hopefully she'll be right.
Pilates teacher's not going to like this. My physio is also not going to like this.
We might be bringing them more work. Go, 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 go. Yes, very good.
That is Sam Fricker doing a bit of coaching. He produces wholesome diving-related content on YouTube, targeting a young audience interested in the sport. He has 5.8 million subscribers, which is bigger than most accounts of newsrooms in this country. But he is also understandably very concerned about the upcoming social media ban.
1 month from today, our social media laws take effect, and they will help children rediscover their childhood, and they will give parents back some peace of mind.
Well, I'm pleased to say that Sam joins us now from a training camp on the Gold Coast. Sam, welcome to the show. Great to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. I'm glad I could fit in with the training. It's been real busy up here on the Gold Coast, and it's been perfect weather for outdoor diving.
Tell me about your YouTube channel. How old were you when you first started doing it? And what do you think about the social media ban?
Yeah, well, I've been posting on YouTube since 2013. So I've got a decade of posting on the platform, and it's really shaped my life. Like as a kid, I watched Olympic athletes train and compete and aspired to be like them one day. And then I watched entrepreneurs about how to start a business. And my first company, Sam Straws, I actually learnt the principles of how to start a business, like getting an ABN, how to set up barcodes from GS1, put them on your products and send them around the world. I learned all of that from YouTube. So it's been a really important platform for me for shaping who I am as a person. And I don't think I would be the Olympian and content creator and entrepreneur that I am today without my experience on the platform.
I think your perspective is really interesting to me because I think a lot of the older Australians who end up being the lawmakers, the people that are deciding for all the young Australians what they're allowed to do and not do, I think there is a disconnect between what you are, what skills you can get from these platforms and what these platforms actually are. And this is so well demonstrated by a quote I want to read to you from the Safety Commissioner, Julie Eamon-Grant, where she wrote on LinkedIn last month, "Of course, we want to nurture creativity in young Australians and help them succeed. But do we not hold higher aspirations for our children than becoming YouTube or OnlyFans influencers?" A lot of problems with that comment. I thought that was an extraordinary thing to say because, first of all, it's conflating YouTube with OnlyFans and suggesting that young Australians that have a following, it's somewhat equal to people going on to OnlyFans. And I think that is really scary to me because this is the person that regulates these policies. And that's the disparaging way that she talks about YouTubers. Do you have any reaction to that?
Yeah, and OnlyFans is an over 18 platform, so I don't think that should be considered within this conversation at all. And YouTube, I see, is more of an educational platform, similar to Spotify or even a streaming service like Netflix, and less like a social media platform. There's no direct message feature or anything like that. It's more of a video creating platform. So I was surprised that those things were put together. And also, I'm an Olympic athlete first and foremost, and I share that journey through YouTube. So I think just to say a content creator, I like to more look at it as we have individuals who are really great at what they do, and they get to share that through a platform like YouTube. So you're not just out there creating videos about going out and being a public nuisance. You're actually creating high quality content about what you do and sharing it with the world. And I know I watch hundreds of engineering videos, funny enough. It's like a side passion of mine, looking at these mega projects and how they were made. And I get that from YouTube. So I don't understand the disconnect and how they've put those two together.
Even though they've gone ahead and done this, Annika Wells has essentially come out saying that kids will now learn a new language. They'll learn to bake. They'll be playing sport because they won't be on YouTube. To me, you're an actual athlete who uses this to engage with your audience. This platform is a part now of the culture. So what's going to happen when we take it away?
It's funny you say those things because those are all activities that you can learn and be a part of through a platform like YouTube. There's no shortage of educational videos about how to learn a language, and I do not think it's a barrier. If anything, it's a stepping stone in how to achieve all of those things. Jump on YouTube and watch one of my recent videos actually with the AFLW going to one of their games. I think we're going to take them diving very soon. So it's actually a way to enhance those skills, in my opinion, and not really a this or that kind of choice. I think everything plays a role. And as I said earlier, I think the concern for me is I was given these opportunities as a kid to watch YouTube and learn from these people, and a lot of young people may be stripped of that opportunity.
I mean, that brings me to my next question. There'll be other markets where young people will be able to go onto these platforms and learn and test and familiarise themselves with the technology at ages of 14, of 15, etc. Do we risk leaving young Australians behind, absent of those skills, unable to compete in a global market, by shutting them out, by not allowing them to have these accounts and to post this sort of content?
Yeah, it's a very good point. And protecting our young is so crucially important. And I think that certainly plays a role. And you see with YouTube Kids, they have that protection there. And I think there's other ways we can go about it, whether it's better education in school systems, parent oversight, and platforms, even taking more steps to protect young people. But YouTube Kids is a great example. Kids have an account, they're fed safe content, and it's moderated by YouTube. So my concern is by removing the ability to have an account, I think you actually lose some control in that place. And it could leave our kids not having that digital savviness that everyone else around the world may have, because it changes so fast. Look at how fast AI has come in and just completely changed the world. If I didn't have YouTube videos to stay up to date with what's happening in the world of AI, I would probably be left behind myself. So I think it's definitely an interesting space. And what concerns me is potentially losing that educational piece.
Yeah, well said, and very well spoken as well, Sam, might I add. I want to touch on something you said in that answer about how it's important to protect kids. And I think there's been a very disingenuous move in this debate to conflate protection of children with this other thing where we're judging them for becoming creators. And I think that was evident in Julian Grant's post to LinkedIn, where she does have this negative view of YouTubers. And obviously in her mind, a YouTuber, an OnlyFans star, well, they're one word away. They're all but the same thing. And you shouldn't aspire to want to do this as a career. But to me, it seems that this whole thing morphed from the good intentions of stopping children being bullied and abused. And now it's turned into, you've got a government trying to tell people what jobs they can and can't have at certain ages. And that was never what this was about. Australians never voted on this. And do you think when some of these children and teenagers who are going to have to live through this on December 9 or 10, whenever it does come in, do you think this is going to impact how they vote when it gets for them to be able to have a decision in the political landscape? Do you think that they're going to feel like they've been lied to, that they've lost these opportunities?
Yeah, I think every Australian could agree we need to look after our young. And I think they came into this with good intentions and wanted to protect our youth. But there's better ways to do it than potentially putting a blanket ban against people accessing it. And I think around people feeling the impact of this, we really won't know until it happens. I think as a content creator, a lot of people ask us what's going to happen, how's it going to affect the content you create and things like that. And we really don't know, and no one will know until the ban comes into effect. So it's kind of a waiting game at the moment to see what happens once it comes into place. The kids are also extremely digitally savvy. You're not meant to play games in class either, but I can tell you at school there was no shortage of boys at the back playing games on their computer. So kids are very intelligent, they're very digitally savvy, and I think from my understanding of the law, it actually just stops them having an account. So they can still use the platform potentially, but without an account, I think you actually lose more parental control.
Yeah, well, the only thing it's achieved is parents will have no idea what their kids are looking at. It's the only consequential thing they've achieved on YouTube. But Sam, thank you so much for your time. You're a really well-spoken young man, and all the best with your diving career. We'll keep an eye out for all of your videos. But thank you for joining us.
No, thank you very much for having me on.